This is O'Brien Thomas, and it's October 4th, and it's 7:40 where I'm at. And I know most of y'all's out having fun, with your families, and I'm hoping y'all be safe out there. But when you check this video out, I want you to be informed about violence and how to prevent it. What are some steps we can take? What are some steps we can take in the schools? How can we prevent this from messing up society even worse than it is? Or prevent this from targeting young kids even more? Now, I want you to understand how it is causing effect on society and how it is damaging homes and also environments. Now, the problem it can cause is that the crime rate goes up, and you see a lot of wars, a lot of people get hurt, a lot of innocent get killed, and it destroys lives. Now, statistics says that the ages between 12 to 19 experience the highest rate of sexual assault. That is pretty hard to say that it's kids. But I want you to also be informed that between the ages of 18 to 19 of teenagers experience a higher rate of stalking. Basically, the approximately, you can say between 1 and 3 adolescent girls in the U.S. is victim. Not victim of what? The victim in physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. Now, how can we stop this? And now, in order to stop violence, we must first stop the penetration of violence on kids. See, that's where it starts from. It starts from kids from young age. Then it goes into something deeper than that. Then it can also grow into something more dangerous and things that how can we as a nation prevent this? Now, I've been doing some research on this, and it's kind of funny how you can actually see the things that's going on in this world and not actually notify. Now, I had a family member who was involved with domestic violence. I see my friends get killed over violence. I believe that everyone should take heed to violence and take it as precaution and take steps. As I said, take steps to see how can we stop this. First, let's talk about the roots of violence. Now, we know that it starts from the age of when it starts when you're a kid and it grows up to when you're an adult. Now, that's a huge concern of violence in the world today. A lot of people wondering what caused violence. For instance, some people wonder why do children bite? Why do some children like to hit? Why do newborn babies, when they're innocent, turn into murderers or terrorists when they get older? Now, everybody know that violence can be caused by someone in their past that had hurt them. Think of this. When a child is young, they don't become violent. But it happens when a child is young and is hurt physically, mentally, and emotionally by violence. Most likely, when they was hurt as they was young in violence, when they get older, there will be violence. That means violence is already in them. Now, if a child is sexually abused or if a child is neglected, this also will cause a child to be violent when they get older. Now, I want you to take a look at this. Listen to this. If someone hasn't been allowed to express their emotions of being hurt when they was young, this will also cause them to be violent. So let's go back and listen to what I just said. When they were young and they experienced violence and they haven't had a chance to express it, all that pain inside will cause them to be violent. The victims, before being the defendant, has emotional feelings and it needs to be heard. Now, being a victim of violence will put violence in a child if his life experience of being in violence is ignored. Now listen to this. We as adults, we have to stop putting violence in children. Now what do I mean? When we hit our kids, curse in front of our kids, or we do anything that is negative in front of our kids that is cause of violence, that is putting violence in them. Now, what are precautions? How can we stop this? But first, let's just start. We got to start it in the home. We have to protect our children from violence. Now, how do we do that? Let's think about that for a second. We can stop violence in the home between amongst the spouses. We can also stop the kids from being around violence. What's on TV, what's in music, and what's in music videos. Okay, now that we learn about violence and how to stop it, we know why violence is tearing our nation apart. Okay, cool. We all know that a lot of other countries embraces violence. They take this as their religion. Violence, ladies and gentlemen, it has to be stopped. It is tearing our nation apart. It is tearing our world apart with wars. And it's killing innocent most of all. We have to find a way as Americans to prevent violence. Get troubled kids, teens, and adults the help that they need. We all should know that children, adults, and teens who act in violent ways are suffering painfully and emotional damage. There are numerous ways to help children, adults, teens to stop violence, especially by letting them express their emotions. So in closing, Marks, if you know anyone that's been a victim of violence, of any kind of violence, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, help them. Don't talk about them. Don't tell anyone else about them. Get them help. Sit down with them and listen to what they've been through. This can be a start to stopping violence. In order to stop violence, we have to approach violence. Once again, my name is O'Brien Thomas, and I thank you.